Good morning and welcome to Matters Financial and Geopolitical from a Frontier. I hope the year's gone well. We've had a few days of it. I certainly have, but it's been so quiet on these Nairobi streets. It's been an absolute joy to get around. But I suspect from next week it's all change. Political reflections. Today is the day Nancy Pelosi becomes president. This is Molly Young Fast. I think she's just some woman, really. This is the first individual I have found who's pushing back at President Trump, and not pushing back, but wiping the floor. And I said to her, to be frank, just on body language, he can't even look at her. Go back to that Schumer-Pelosi meeting, the first one, and frankly, from Hawaii, which she mentioned was in the USA, to the beaded curtain, which was saying that this is what he's going to get. Pelosi has kneecapped President Trump. He cannot even look her in the eye. She mocked Trump's ultimatum. Now he's down to, I think, a beaded curtain or something. I'm not sure where he is, she said. He may not realize Hawaii is part of the US, she said. Sheikh Nimmer, who was decapitated by MBS a couple of years ago, said this: words are more powerful than the roar of bullets. And that made me think back to this little clip that I found from Netflix, which was the Saudi Arabia Patriot Act with Hassan Minhaj. Have a listen. They were not allowed to show it in Saudi Arabia. And my response is, I think Netflix should have pulled a Nike Copernic level move on MBS. They would have gained more subscriptions than they could ever have imagined, in my view. A new travel advisory about China from the US State Department. China Travel Advisory Level 2, exercise increased caution. There's a kidnapping spree going on. Just before I went to do the podcast, I saw that 13 Canadians are currently being held. And this goes back to, of course, events that followed the truce dinner at the G20 in Argentina, sirloin steaks, Nicholas Malbec wine, Huawei Technologies, and Wanzhou Meng. You will recall that Trump and Xi Jinping enjoyed a much anticipated truce dinner at the G20 in Buenos Aires and quaffed a Zapata Nicholas Malbec 2014 wine with their sirloin steaks, and finished it all off with caramel rolled pancakes, crispy chocolate, and fresh cream. Look, I like my dessert, but I would skip that and have the other two. A dinner that ran over by 60 minutes, and one where the guests broke out into spontaneous applause thereafter. You can't make it up, can you? Huawei has demoted workers for tweeting from an iPhone. This caught my attention from Lewis Gave. In old days, having an empire was about controlling the sea lanes, because that is where valuable goods would flow. In tomorrow's world, valuable goods flow through telecom lines. He concludes by saying the US thus needs to take down Huawei and ZTE. The Huawei crisis is this century's Suez crisis. Have a listen to this clip on Channel 5, Jeremy Vine on 5. We're being ruined by Brexit. A caller called into the show. Very powerful.